Easy, how do you see this game playing out?
We actually got some word from Dan Campbell on this one, too.
Yes, we do.
They're a lot like us just in regard to they have a lot of different schemes, the gaps, and inside the gaps there's 5 different ways to run it with pullers. They have the fast motion blocks. They have the read run and the RPO with Gino, certainly. So, and then they've got weapons, you know. They got Jigba at the slot, who's just he just got his feet wet. This is his first kind of round of it, but then you've got 14 out there who's a heck of a player, and Lockett. So they've got plenty of weapons, the tight ends. And defensively, I thought they held their own for a while, and it just, it got to the point where I think after the injuries, they got a little bit behind the offensive injuries, and the defense was, had gotten a little bit worn down. But this team always presents problems. It's been a thorn in our side for 2 years, and so we know what's going to be coming in here. We're going to assume the best out of them, and they got after us pretty good last year, real good. So that's something we won't forget.
And they're not going to forget something that obviously Lions fans aren't going to forget is what Seattle did to us last year, not only winning that game, but then keeping us out of the playoffs. So, fuck the Seahawks. Let's go. Lions fans, this needs to be the loudest game in the history of Ford Field. I need everybody in there screaming from snap one to the last snap and just making sure those Seattle Seahawks know what they're walking into, because it's going to be a madhouse in there. I know you guys are going to get up. You're going to be lit coming off of that win against Kansas City. I'm excited to see what this team does. I'm excited to see what they look like going forward, and Lions' new defense has to at least get them to punt once, which they couldn't do last year.
Yeah. Yeah, last year was a rough matchup, and I think that's like a benefit for the Detroit Lions out of this one, because this is going to be a feisty Seattle Seahawks team. I think we were witness or victims of that last year heading into the Carolina game, where they kind of got their asses whooped. We saw the Detroit Lions turn around after they got their ass whooped, and they beat the shit out of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's typically how things go. I don't think Seattle could be more motivated for this one after getting their ass whooped. And by the way, I was the only guy on this show try to show some respect to Sean McVay.
Don't take. Oh, do not take a huge victory.
34. I'm taking a victory. I mean, Sean McVay.
You saying season long or just week one?
I think. You have 34 rookies in your team. You're gonna deal with some injuries on top of that too. I mean, I can't see him sustaining that. But to go in fresh on yesterday's game,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like Seattle should have, and maybe not after we saw it yesterday, but almost just as much hype as the Detroit Lions. I mean, you look at the way this team has been built, the way it's been stacked. I think that's why you have to be respectful of them heading into this game. I know, although we are hot and we have the home field advantage. I mean, as Dan Campbell said, 2 years in a row, Pete Carroll's had his number. Mm-hmm. And let's not pretend like the Seattle Seahawks they're extremely talented, as he mentioned. You already knew about DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They effed you up last year. Kenneth Walker as well. They had Jackson Smith and Jigba to that. You got Devon Witherspoon to hold up next to Tariq Woolen. That did a job on. I think he had the pick 6 against Jared Goff last year, if I'm not mistaken. That brought another interior defensive lineman too. I mean, this is a respectable Seattle team. Again, coming in fresh off of an ass whooping by a team they were favored by. Wasn't that at home too?
Yeah.
Weren't they in Seattle? You got a feisty, tough, good. I won't say good. I'll say talented. Because we got to see the season plays out. The Seattle team headed in this next week, and I'm here for it. I think the Lions, though, I think they can handle it.